feels like it's having some hype. Oh, everybody is autistic now.
Every symptom that you're saying, it's from ADHD.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Angel Lee here, and it's been a year that I posted my last video when it was about ADHD, but a lot of things happened in this time that I was away from here. My dad had a stroke and I had to become a caregiver, but this is not the subject of this video. This video is about my suspicions about autism. A year ago I posted that video about ADHD, but when I posted that I was already suspicious about autism, but I didn't said anything because at that time I just bought this book.
I think I might be autistic, a guide to autism spectrum disorder diagnosis and self-discovery for adults.
I was still reading, and even though I was feeling super excited to talk about it, I was not feeling secure enough to talk about it because I was like, oh, I want to first be validated by a professional. I finished the book. I was already searching a lot about diving to ADHD, and I felt like, okay, there's nothing more here for me to see. Everything I see is just more of the same that I already know, but it still is not explaining like everything that I feel. ADHD is already hard for you to deal, but I was definitely feeling there was more. So since I didn't had money at the time and I was also being a caregiver, I wasn't having time to think about it, time for myself to keep digging. But I was taking care of my dad. I was noticing all of his signs of autism, a lot of stuff. So more I was noticing the urge to go back to the interest. It was back. Now I definitely want to find a professional to talk about it, because when I say I dig into autism, it's like really deep search. And in this book also, it has a lot of tests, questions for you to mark, and most of the things, it's super me. When I wanted to find a professional to investigate my ADHD 3 years ago, I went prepared. I made a list, spent the all night before thinking about what I needed to say, that I shouldn't forget anything, replaying everything that I should say. But this time when I decided to schedule with a professional to talk about my suspicions, wanted to schedule in the next time possible, in the next date available, did a superficial search like, oh, people are saying this psychiatrist is good, so must be good, and it's saying expert of ADHD and an expert of autism. So I paid for 60 minutes with the psychiatrist, and I just wanted to, take it out of my chest, because
when the interest comes, it's like you can't run away from it. It's very strong. It's like you need to listen to it or you can't do anything else.
I started to feel like, oh, the time is almost close, and this time I didn't prepare, didn't take notes, but I was like feeling more confident about knowing who I am. But then I realized even if I was prepared, it wouldn't make a difference, because by what he said, I knew already. He didn't know. It was like I was more expert about AuDHD than he was. And I know when I say this, it sounds like I'm very unhumble, but really, I have suspicions of autism because of this. He started cutting me, saying I was fixated about wanting a label of autism that wasn't important. He said that more important was for me to treat my ADHD with medication. And I said, okay, but I'm here because I want to talk about, because I have strong beliefs and I study it. All the symptoms match with me. And he was just not wanting to listen. He was like, I just felt that he was decided that I was another one, and I don't know, feels like it's having some hype.
Oh, everybody is autistic now.
Every symptoms that you're saying, it's from ADHD.
But wait, I didn't finish. It's like, no, it's all from ADHD. You just need to treat your ADHD. You're gonna be fine. You probably don't have autism.
You are just fixated in one thing that you think that you are. I think that you don't have.
I was like, okay, but how can you say that if it's been only 30 minutes that you're talking to me and I know myself for all my life? He said,
You came to find a professional, right? I'm a professional, and I see that you want me to say that you have it, but I'm not going to say that.
I was like, okay, no, but that doesn't explain the rigidity of thoughts, the inflexibility that I have in some stuff. And he was like, yeah, have you ever thought it's just your personality?
Why he's saying that it's just my personality?
I mean, it could be. I mean, I know I went to him to talk with a professional, but clearly he don't know. I mean, until 2013, it still was not possible to be autistic and also ADHD. And I think he has that old-fashioned view, thinking that people that are autistic, it's like crystal clear. You hit your eyes and you're like, yeah, autistic. Definitely, yeah.
He said, yeah, you can't look people in the eyes, you have friends, and disorganized.
It's just, okay, just whatever. I just have to find a better professional.
Because autistic people are very organized people, and you are very messy.
I know I'm not, but I can have a selective organization, you know. Anyway, I just gave up because if he don't know that someone that have ADHD and autism can be messy and also organized. But he was clearly only talking about autism, that old-fashioned view like I had. In my head, before I searched about autism, I thought it was that type of person that doesn't talk to anyone, just don't understand people. I had to take a deep breath and decided that I was not going to discuss with the doctor saying that he didn't know much about autism. I said, okay, just give me the prescription of ADHD because I do probably need it. And he also prescribed me, I'll put the name here, for my biting, stimming. So I do have sensory sensibility. I do have persistent, hard to control stimming, and it comes from my childhood. I used to bite my nails when I was a kid. I remember that, and adults was always saying, oh, I'm gonna put pepper in your fingers so you stop biting your nails. And then I start biting my hair, like something like this, when I was like very young. I don't remember, but I remember people saying, oh, you can't eat your hair, they're gonna just be in your stomach for a long while and stuff. But they didn't know that I was not swallowing my hair, I was just feeling the texture of biting it, you know. I like study, work on, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's caused by traumas, maybe I'm like this because I have cross culture, because my grandma raised me and she only talked to me in Taiwanese, and because she's super religious, so I was always having like this conscious and unconscious, always thinking about why I am the way I am and trying to fix it, you know. So it led me to a long journey. Like I said, I was like, oh, so I need to work on my traumas. and anxiety. I need to think about what triggers the anxiety. What I'm thinking about when I'm biting is just nothing. There's nothing happening. Sometimes I just not thinking about anything and just happens. So ever since I discovered the ADHD, I've been trying to find ways to a ring that spins something for me to, So it is a body focused repetitive behavior. It's repetitive and I feel like it's a way of soothing me. But I just couldn't find something like for me to stop biting my cheek. Is still something I'm struggling. I've been working on ways. I do have some stuff. I mean, this didn't work well. But yes, I'm still trying to find something that will be like perfect for me to be with me all the time. Because I tried another stuff that it's like a cube that it has some buttons, but it didn't work also and I lost. And I have also this stuff that my sister gave me and I put plastic on it so it won't be dirty. When you touch too much, it will soon be dirty. And I don't know if this is something that we can wash. She said we can. So I did this. But the biggest thing that I noticed first, even when I was paying attention, alert, I was like paying very attention of what my friends were saying, the group, and I hear the words and I still don't get it. And this happened to me like a lot in my life. And when I discovered it was ADHD, that's why sometimes I don't understand, because I didn't hear, because I was distracted. So after the ADHD, I was like in this phase. I want to be more social. I want to be more extroverted. I want to go out more with my friends. I was decided I will do it even if it's hard. I will make myself do it, because I know I like to be alone and I like to be with myself, but sometimes I just have this crazy craving to be socializing and to be extroverted and to talk to people. Okay, now I know what's the problem. When I'm socializing, it's just because I don't pay attention. That's why I don't understand. So I noticed that even when I paid attention, there was no music, there was no stuff for me to be unfocused. And I hear, and it's like everyone understood, and I was like, why the heck I didn't understood? A common thing for me to do is like half laugh with the nose, like when you laugh without conviction, just so people don't notice that you are the only one that was not laughing because you didn't understand something probably that sounds like something obvious. There was a lot of time of my life that I felt like, what the hell is happening? What I should do right now? What I should do now? I mean, why everyone know what they supposed to do when I don't know? When I was in school, and it was always, I was like, what? And I saw this video, I don't know how to say. It was very funny the way he said it, because it was exactly how I felt. And it was like, that's it. That's exactly how I felt. And all this weirdness that I was feeling that was not matching with ADHD. Anyway, in this video, I kind of wanted to take out of my chest how I was feeling about all this discovery, about all these thoughts about autism. I just really wanted to talk about it. I did organize the symptoms, very well organized. But in this video, I just decided to talk more like freely. And in my next video, I will bring like point by point exactly why I don't think it's just ADHD, Yeah. So when it's possible, when I can, I will try to get my diagnosis. But a lot of doctors and professionals was saying that it's super valid, the self-diagnosis in this area, especially for a woman, that it's super more hard to identify. And I was afraid when I was thinking I was ADHD. But what if I'm not? What if I'm not ADHD? What if I'm just a lazy person? What if I just want an excuse to say that I can't do stuff? But everything about me, like, it just screams like AuDHD. It's not just ADHD, it's not just autism. So if you feel like this also, this video might be for you too. And if you're a professional, if you're a psychologist, psychiatrist, if you know about the subject, maybe you can give your opinion here also. And yes, let's talk about it. Yes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I promise I will be back soon, probably next week. New things about the iFood restaurant that I'm working on. It's dark kitchen, about thinking like wanting to finish my tattoo. I have a tattoo and I want to finish. Subscribe, comment please, and let's go part by part. Right.